God says, it's an emergency. Someone in your family who is already in heaven wants to reveal something about money hidden in your home. Don't make the mistake of skipping this. Listen now. This message is urgent, and it's not just for anyone. It's for you. Heaven has leaned close to speak into your life right now. A voice from your bloodline, someone who has gone before you into eternity, is trying to reach you. What they carried in silence, what they never had the chance to explain while they were here, is now being stirred by divine will. There is something hidden in your home, a breakthrough, a provision, a financial shift waiting to be discovered. But if you walk away now, you may miss what has been set aside for you. You may lose what God intended to place right in your hands. Take a breath and hold on. Do not skip a word. Someone who once loved you, someone who still carries your name in heaven, is fighting for your eyes to be opened. This is not just about earthly wealth. This is about restoration. This is about healing something that was broken generations ago. This is God's way of not letting what was lost stay lost. And you are the one He's chosen to uncover it. Comment Amen if you believe God is still speaking to families even from eternity. Let me be clear, this is not superstition, this is not fantasy, this is a divine appointment. There is a stirring from above, and it carries a secret, a message about something that has been placed in your home long ago. This isn't just money folded into paper or tucked in a wall. It's also about inheritance. Spiritual, emotional, and yes, financial inheritance. A promise once spoken over your bloodline, now passed to you like a torch, and it's closer than you think. God is sounding the alarm because too many have passed over the signs. Too many have ignored the nudges, but not you. That's why this is reaching you now. God sees that you've been in a battle. You've felt the weight of financial struggle. You've asked questions in the silence of the night. You've wondered why things slip through your fingers no matter how hard you work. And God is saying, there's something in your home. Not just hidden cash or forgotten papers, something spiritual, something powerful. A blessing that's been covered, buried, or locked away by grief, fear, or generational silence. God didn't bring you this far to let you stay in confusion. He is not a God of chaos. He is the God who brings light to dark places. And right now, He's bringing light to a room in your life that's been shut for too long. That revelation is not only going to change your finances, it's going to shift your family, your peace, your clarity, and your future. Listen closely. The windows of heaven are open. God is reaching into your story to restore what was stolen or forgotten. There are things you've never been told. Conversations you weren't old enough to hear, decisions made behind closed doors, mistakes that weren't yours but still affected you. All of it matters, and heaven has chosen this moment for that silence to break, for the truth to rise. Someone from your family who is in heaven has carried this burden too long. They've watched you struggle. They've seen the patterns repeat. They've prayed for you. And God, in His love and mercy, has chosen now to send this word to you, not to shame you, not to confuse you, but to deliver you. Take a moment and comment 1111 if you believe divine secrets are being revealed in this hour. Let your heart open. Ask God, even now, to give you clarity. There is something you may have passed over, a drawer you never open, a photo frame with more than memories, a book no one reads anymore, a piece of furniture that belonged to someone who passed on. Pray before you touch anything. This isn't a treasure hunt. This is spiritual awakening. This is obedience. This is honoring a legacy. God is reminding you, you are not forgotten. You are not cursed. You are not unlucky. There is a covering over your life that others before you prayed into existence. They may not have seen the answer while they were alive, but you were always part of the answer. You are the living continuation of prayers once whispered by trembling lips, now stored like incense before God. You are standing on holy ground, even if it's your kitchen or your bedroom, that room where you've cried, that hall where you walk every day, that corner you clean without thinking. The Spirit of God is hovering, guiding, speaking, and preparing. You are not alone in your house. Heaven is visiting. God says, I am unlocking what was sealed. I am breathing over what was dusty. I am shaking what was hidden. This is not just about money, it's about restoration. It's about justice. It's about promises not being buried with those who died. I am a generational God. I saw the tears of your grandmother. I heard the cries of your father. I watched your mother hope when everything around her was breaking. I saw their love. I felt their pain. And I have not let their hopes fall to the ground. So now, I stir you. I awaken you. I remind you, there's something in your home. You may not even know what to look for, but I will guide your hands. I will draw your eyes. You will know. My Spirit will whisper, and your heart will recognize it. I am the Lord your God. I do not forget my people. I do not break my word. What was once hidden will be found. What was once blocked will be opened. The wealth of the wicked is stored for the righteous, and what belongs to you will not be taken by another. Could your brain be the reason you're still broke? Scientists just confirmed a 9-word sentence hidden deep in your subconscious may be blocking money from your life. But now you can reverse it. Say these 9 words, and wealth starts to follow you starting today. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. If you are willing, if you trust me, I will show you. I will send clarity, dreams, nudges, peace, and when you find it, you will know this wasn't by chance. You will know that I spoke. You will know that I was in your house before you even asked me to be. You were born for this moment. You are not random. You are not weak. You are chosen, shielded, and set apart. I have placed my seal over you. This house belongs to me. Your name is written on my heart. And what was meant for harm, I will use for your good. Something sacred is being released into your life, and it's tied to something hidden, something God has chosen to uncover through you. Don't brush this off. What you do next matters more than you realize. Right now, the Lord is visiting your household. Yes, your physical home. He is walking through it, room by room, releasing revelation and healing. There are things stored up in your home that you haven't even thought twice about. A locked box, an old letter, a drawer you never go through. It might look ordinary, but heaven is pointing to it. This is no longer about guessing. God says, I will show you. You're going to notice things you've overlooked before. You'll feel a prompting to pause, to pick something up, to check again. Follow it. That's me, guiding you. Comment 222 if you trust me to lead you to what has been hidden. You may be thinking, why now? Why me? Because you are the one willing to listen. You're the one who hasn't hardened your heart. You've been through pain, but it didn't turn you bitter. You've walked through trials, but you didn't let them steal your hope. That's why I can trust you with this. I don't give revelation to the proud. I give it to the humble, the quiet-hearted, the ones still listening when others have tuned out. I give it to the ones who still believe that I can move in their lives. I am a God who honors bloodlines. Generations past have cried out to me, asking for restoration, asking for protection, asking for provision. Some of them died before they ever saw the answer. But I did not forget. I stored those prayers, and I placed the answer in your time. That's why this moment is so important. You're holding what others prayed for. You're carrying the answer. And the moment you move in obedience, things will begin to shift, not just for you, but for those connected to you. This isn't just about money. Money is a part of it, yes. But the money represents something deeper. It represents justice. It represents peace. It represents a divine reversal of lack and shame. You've been carrying burdens that were never meant for you. You've been paying for what others lost. But I am turning that around. I am placing into your hands what was always meant for you. You will not work in vain. You will not cry without purpose. The harvest is coming, and this is the moment it begins. There is something specific hidden in your home. I won't give you fear about it. I give you peace. Don't go looking in panic. Go with expectation. Pray before you search. Let your spirit be still. I will whisper. I will guide. You'll know exactly where to look and what to touch. It might be a note your grandfather left, a Bible your mother carried, a necklace, a photograph, a journal, something that looks small but carries a weight in the spirit. I will lead you to it. When you find it, you will know. You've been asking me for provision. You've been telling me that you're tired. You've told me you don't know how much longer you can keep giving, keep working, keep holding things together. And I've heard you. I didn't ignore your tears. I caught everyone. I haven't been distant. I've been preparing this moment. And this message you're hearing right now is my response. It's not just a message, it's an intervention. Comment 333 to declare your faith in my timing. I want you to remember something. I am the God who sees in secret. I saw what was stolen. I saw what was buried. I saw the inheritance that never reached your hands. I saw the decisions that robbed your family of stability. And I saw your hands, open and waiting, wondering if anything would ever come back. It is. Right now, I'm sending it back with interest. I'm not just giving you back what was taken, I'm giving you more. Don't listen to the voice of doubt. Don't let the enemy tell you that this isn't for you. The enemy wants to distract you, confuse you, make you think this is coincidence. But you know better. You can feel the truth in this. Your spirit knows when heaven is speaking, and I am speaking now. Through every word, through every confirmation, I am showing you that I have not forgotten. You are about to walk into something you didn't even know was possible. Doors that were closed for years are about to open in ways you couldn't imagine. That long season of dryness is about to be followed by overflow. But you must be willing to believe. Not just with your mind, but with your steps. Take this seriously. Pray over your home. Walk through it. Speak my name. Ask me to show you. Watch how I move. The same God who split the Red Sea is the same God who is standing in your home. The same God who raised the dead is the one raising your story from the ashes. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to trust that I know what I'm doing. And I do. I've been preparing this for longer than you know. Every time you felt delayed, every moment that felt like a loss, it all led to this moment. Nothing was wasted. Not one trial. Not one heartbreak. I've woven it all together. I've hidden provision not just in places, but in moments. Conversations, dreams, quiet thoughts, these are all part of the map I'm unfolding before you. Why did 19,583 people suddenly become financially free last month? They all discovered a strange sentence. Just 9 words long, buried in neuroscience research and once hidden by the FBI. Now they're paying off debt, traveling the world, and living in homes they never thought they could afford. If you're seeing this, you're lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. So here's what you do next. Be still, be expectant. Ask me to show you. I will confirm it. I will bring the right moment. I will not let this pass you by. You are not going to miss it, not as long as you keep your heart open and your ears tuned to me. Let me surprise you. Let me show you how close I really am. That's why this message found you now. Because the pain, the loss, the unanswered questions, they were not the end. They were the setup. And now, the season is shifting. Something that has been locked up for generations is being released, and you are the one chosen to receive it. What has been hidden is not lost. It's been preserved, kept, guarded, not by chance, but by purpose. The Lord says, "You thought it was forgotten, but I kept it in place. I watched over it. I whispered to angels to protect it. And now, because your heart is ready and your spirit is open, I am allowing it to come into the light. You are not stepping into this by luck. You are walking into something that was set in motion long before you were born. This is divine timing." Comment 555. If you believe this is the moment God planned for you, you might have grown up hearing stories, pieces of things that never made sense, whispers of what used to be, secrets that died with someone close. But heaven didn't forget. There were tears your loved ones cried that turned into prayers. They might not have had answers in their lifetime, but you, yes, you are going to walk into what they prayed for. The financial strain you've been under, the pressure, the fear, the stretching, it is breaking under the weight of God's promise. This isn't just a miracle, it's a redemption story. There are spiritual debts being cancelled. There are family cycles being broken. You were not left out, you were set apart. You are not too late, you're right on time. The very fact that you're here, still standing, still seeking, is proof that the enemy didn't win. And because he didn't win, he can't stop what God is about to do. There is money tied to your home, maybe literally, maybe spiritually, but it's more than bills and coins. It's tied to legacy, restoration, freedom. You're not going to carry the burden of what others mishandled. You're going to receive what was meant for you. God says, "I'm turning this house into holy ground, not because of what's in the walls, but because of what's being revealed." This is divine release, and your obedience will unlock it. Your mind may be trying to figure it out. Your logic might be asking how this could even be possible. But faith isn't based on logic. Faith sees what the eye cannot. Faith moves even when nothing makes sense. And that's what you're being called into right now, a faith walk. God is not playing games with you. He is being precise, intentional, strategic. He doesn't speak without purpose. And he is speaking clearly now. Comment 1212 if you believe this word is for your household. Someone in your family has been trying to reach you through prayer, through dreams, through little signs. Maybe you've felt it, something unexplainable, a moment that made you pause, a memory that keeps surfacing. It's not random. The veil between heaven and earth is thinner than most understand. And when God allows a word like this to reach you, it means the season has shifted. You are the bridge between what was and what's about to be. Do not rush this moment. Don't just hear it, respond to it. This is the kind of word you sit with, that you pray over, that you walk through your home with. Anoint the doors, bless the walls, speak peace into each room. This is spiritual preparation for physical discovery. The miracle is both unseen and seen, and the more you walk in faith, the more you will see what's been waiting for you. Let the Spirit guide you. There are moments coming soon where you will feel a pull towards something, a box, a closet, a picture, even a piece of old furniture. Don't ignore it. Stop, listen, pray, watch. God is precise, and when He speaks, He confirms. He will not let you move in confusion. You'll feel the peace when it's right. That's how you'll know. God is not just unlocking physical resources. He's also releasing wisdom, direction, peace. The kind of peace that doesn't shake when bills are due. The kind of direction that helps you make decisions without fear. That's part of the inheritance. That's what the enemy tried to block, but he failed. Because God says, no more delay, no more fear, no more lack. I'm placing my hand on this house. I'm breathing over this address. I'm restoring what belongs to you. You're not here begging. You're not here hoping for scraps. You are a child of the Most High God, and He is calling you into a season where the hidden becomes revealed. The blocked becomes open. The confusion becomes clarity. Your family didn't always have the words. They didn't always have the strength, but they had faith. And that faith, though it was once just a mustard seed, has grown into a tree that's bearing fruit in your life today. You will not only uncover what's been hidden, you will know how to steward it. You won't waste it. You won't lose it. You will walk in wisdom, because God is not just handing you something, He's also walking with you through it. You won't be alone in this. You never were. Let this sink in. This is not a moment to ignore, not a message to brush aside. This is sacred. This is personal. This is holy. You are being invited into something most people never get to experience. A direct move of God in your home, your family, your finances, your story. Could a 9-word ritual really be your key to financially freedom? What sounds like fiction is now being confirmed by science. Harvard researchers and FBI documents point to a hidden brain center that, when activated, draws in abundance naturally. This 9-word prayer has helped over 19,000 broke people attract wealth and live a life full of abundance. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. There is a breakthrough tied to your obedience, a financial release connected to something that's been kept in your home, waiting for such a time as this. And I, the Lord your God, am now calling it forth. You were not overlooked, you were preserved. What others saw as delay, I called preparation. What they thought was silence, I called strategy. I've been working behind the scenes, not to hurt you, but to position you. What's coming will make sense of what didn't. What's ahead will explain why the path was so hard. You had to go through what you did so your eyes could recognize the miracle when it showed up. This isn't about luck or chance. It's divine orchestration. I don't move without purpose. And my purpose now is to bring into the light what was hidden, both the provision and the pain. Because once the pain is exposed to my light, it loses its power. And when you uncover the blessing, it will carry healing that goes beyond money. It will settle battles in your bloodline. It will silence voices of lack and fear that have haunted your family for decades. Comment 777 if you believe what God is revealing will restore what was broken. Many of you have already been feeling it. You walk into certain rooms and your spirit feels unsettled. You touch certain items and feel something you can't explain. That's not your imagination. That's my spirit awakening your senses. Pay attention. I've been speaking through dreams, through small nudges, through things that feel like coincidence but aren't. I'm guiding you, softly but surely. And if you stay open, I will lead you to exactly what I want you to see. What's hidden in your home might not be obvious at first. It might not even look valuable to the natural eye. But when you find it, you will understand. There's something that carries a story, one that never got told. Something that connects your present to your past and releases your future. And when you place your hands on it, you'll feel it. Not fear, not confusion. Peace. A kind of peace you haven't felt in years. I want you to hear me. I didn't forget about your financial struggle. I didn't ignore your prayers when you asked how you were going to make it. I was there when you didn't have enough. I was there when you had to choose between paying bills or buying food. I saw the tears you didn't let fall in front of others, and I've held every one of them. This is not about guilt or shame. This is about redemption. I don't just restore what was lost, I make it new. I pour out blessing in ways that the enemy can't undo. And I've set aside something for you that he tried to bury, but what I cover cannot stay hidden forever. It's rising now, not because of your strength, but because of my love. I've waited for this moment just as much as you have. I've longed to bless you, and now I will. There are times you've asked, why has this been so hard for so long? It's because what's inside you is powerful. You are not average. You are not disposable. You are marked, anointed, called to break patterns and usher in something new. And because of that, you've been under pressure. But pressure creates strength. Pressure builds discernment. Pressure brings clarity. And now, under all that pressure, something holy is being born. Comment 999 if you're ready for God to turn pressure into purpose. Don't underestimate what's in your house. Don't assume it's just furniture, just photos, just memories. Some things were placed there decades ago with a purpose that's only now being revealed. God is reaching through time to redeem what belongs to you. This isn't about superstition. It's about divine justice. It's about promises being fulfilled. Walk through your home with a new mindset. Speak blessings over every room. Call God into the spaces that have felt heavy. Invite His Spirit into the corners of your life where you've stored pain, shame, or confusion. He's not afraid of any of it. In fact, He's ready to heal it, ready to touch it, ready to breathe on it. And as you invite Him in, things will shift. That item, whatever it is that holds the key, may be tied to someone you've lost. A mother, a grandfather, a sibling, an aunt. They didn't take the secret with them. They passed it on. And now it's being awakened through you, because God trusts you to handle it with reverence, to not just find it, but to honor it, to understand its weight, to use it for good. You won't waste this blessing. You won't misuse it. You'll sow it wisely. You'll share it generously. You'll carry it with integrity, because your heart has been shaped by the fire. You know what it means to have little. And now, you'll know what it means to have enough, and more than enough. I am the Lord your provider. I am not a God of confusion. I do not tease. When I speak, I move. When I reveal, I provide. You are about to see doors open that you didn't even knock on. You're going to see debts paid off, needs met, opportunities come without explanation. Because this is not your doing, it's mine. I want you to breathe deeply now. Let go of the fear. Release the doubt. Lay down the weight. You are not walking into this alone. You are being led, carried, covered. There are angels assigned to your home even now, not to just watch, but to guard and guide. They are preparing the way for what you are about to discover. That's divine confirmation. The Lord is moving through your house, through your memories, through your family line, and through your faith. The very air around you is changing, because heaven has decided this is the moment for you to receive what has been long hidden. This isn't about you chasing money. It's about God returning what belongs to His children. It's about restoring what the enemy thought was buried for good. There are spiritual doors opening in your home, doors that lead to clarity, direction, wisdom, healing, and yes, provision. Not just finances to survive, but enough to breathe again, enough to bless others, enough to stop the fear that's been haunting your thoughts every month when the bills come in. Comment 1010 if you believe God is restoring what the enemy tried to bury. What do brain surgeons and billionaires know that you don't? This 9-word money code, once reserved for elites, is now being shared with everyday people, and the results are mind-boggling. Cash windfalls, cleared debt, and lifelong stress gone. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. You may have walked through years of feeling like you were left behind. You saw others receive, you celebrated them, you stayed faithful, but in your quiet moments, you wondered when your turn would come. You tried not to show it, but God saw it. He heard the thoughts you never said out loud. He counted every tear you held back. And He made a promise over your life that no one can break. What's yours cannot be stolen. The reason this feels so urgent is because it is. There are divine moments that don't come around twice. You're standing in one right now. This is not just another day. This is not just another word. This is a divine appointment with destiny. Something stored in your family's past is being released into your present, and it will shape your future. That's why the weight of this is so strong. You're going to find something. Whether it's a letter, an old envelope, a family Bible, or even a memory that suddenly becomes clear, it will unlock something. Don't dismiss it. It may not look like much on the outside, but in the spiritual realm, it holds great value. That's why God is pointing you to it. That's why He's been stirring your spirit and drawing you to listen now. There is a blessing attached to your obedience, not just in what you find, but in what it activates. Some of you will experience financial peace for the first time in years. Others will feel family tensions ease. Some will find favor that opens doors you didn't even knock on. That's how God works. He doesn't just answer one prayer. He answers the ones your grandparents prayed too. God is saying, I'm not just answering for you, I'm answering for generations. You see, He's a God of legacy. He sees the full picture. You've been fighting battles you didn't start, carrying weights you didn't create. And now He says, you've carried enough. It's time to receive. There are stories in your family that were never fully told, wounds that were never fully healed. God is about to bring light to those places. It may come through a discovery in your home. It may come through a dream. It may come through a conversation you didn't expect. However it comes, it will bring truth, and that truth will set you free. You will not walk in confusion. God is not cruel. He is not hiding things from you to frustrate you. He's revealing them in the right time to bless you. He is not just dropping blessings into your lap. He is leading you to them step by step, so that when you receive them, your faith is stronger, your spirit is clearer, and your testimony is deeper. Comment 1515 if you believe God is bringing light into your household. This moment you're in, it's more than personal. It's prophetic. You're stepping into something that's going to break chains for the next generation. Your children and your children's children will not carry the weight of lack, fear, or confusion the way you did. Because you listened. Because you believed. Because you obeyed when God said, search again, look again, pray again. Some of you have items in your home passed down from loved ones that you haven't thought about in years. God may lead you back to them, not for sentiment, but for instruction. There could be a message inside, a note tucked away, a key to something that will shift the atmosphere in your home and even unlock provision. Don't be afraid. Invite the Holy Spirit to go before you. Ask Him to show you clearly. He will not let you miss it. You may feel unqualified. You may wonder why God would choose you for this. But He sees what others can't. He sees your heart. He sees how you've loved even when you weren't loved back. how you've remained honest when you could have taken shortcuts, how you've helped others even when you needed help yourself. That's why he trusts you with this moment. This is about faith, not perfection. God doesn't need you to be flawless. He needs you to be willing to believe again, willing to move even when you don't have all the answers, willing to say, God, I don't know where this is going, but I'll follow you. That's all he's ever wanted from you, and that's all he needs now. As you begin to search, don't just look with your eyes, listen with your heart. Pay attention to where you feel peace. That's where the Spirit is moving. Don't get discouraged if you don't find it on the first try. This is a process of discovery and healing. Even the search itself is bringing restoration, because you're walking in faith, and faith pleases God. Every step you take in obedience is pulling down something from heaven. Every prayer you whisper is breaking through barriers in the Spirit. Every moment you trust Him, even when you don't see the full picture, is drawing you closer to what has been set aside for you. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not invisible to God. You are loved. You are chosen. And you are standing in a divine moment that will become part of your family's testimony for years to come. It was divine timing. I've never been far from you. I've been watching over everything, protecting what's meant for you, even when you couldn't see it. And now, I'm bringing it to the surface. It's time. This moment you're standing in isn't small. It carries weight. You may feel ordinary, but heaven sees you as chosen. You may feel overlooked, but I call you favored. You may think your life has been full of delays and detours, but I've been weaving purpose into every step. And now, because you stayed, because you kept believing, because you didn't give up, I'm opening what has been shut. What was hidden is about to be placed in your hands. Why is the government desperate to hide this 9-word prayer? A shocking FBI leak has just revealed a simple 9-word prayer, now letting everyday people erase debt and attract unstoppable wealth. Verified by leading scientists and supported by Harvard research, this at-home ritual is turning financial stress into a life of luxury. Dream homes, new cars, luxurious vacations, it's all within reach. But the government could take down this secret any moment. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. This is your confirmation. That weight in your chest, that stirring in your spirit, that sense that something's about to change, it's real. I, the Lord your God, am moving. And this word is not general, it's not vague, it's not symbolic, it's direct. Someone from your family, someone already in heaven, is standing in intercession, praying that you don't miss what's been kept for you. They knew it wouldn't reach them in their lifetime, but they knew it would reach you. Comment 1717 if you believe God's timing is perfect. You may not understand how or why they're connected to this, but heaven remembers every act of faith, every seed of generosity, every prayer whispered in secret. Those who have gone before you carried dreams they never got to see fulfilled. But God does not let faith die. He stores it, He guards it, and now it's being released to you. Not because you asked, but because they asked, because they believed, because they trusted that their descendants would see what they hoped for. You are that descendant. You are the fulfillment of someone's prayer. You are the answer to a cry that went up decades ago. And now, I'm waking you up to it. I'm pulling back the veil. I'm showing you that what felt like emptiness has been hiding something divine. There is something tangible in your house. Maybe it's tucked away. Maybe it's behind something. Maybe it's disguised as something ordinary. But it's there. And when you find it, it will all make sense. This blessing isn't only for financial help, it's for alignment, for clarity, for healing, for restoration. It will connect things that felt broken. It will bring meaning to memories that always left you with questions. It will restore peace where there was confusion. And when you hold it in your hands, your spirit will testify, "This is it. This is what God was leading me to." You may have been raised in a house where money was scarce, where fear was common, where people did the best they could with what little they had. But I am shifting that now. I'm breaking the agreement with lack. I'm uprooting the fear of not having enough. I'm declaring that from this point forward, your home will be a place of provision, wisdom, and overflow. Not greed, not excess, but steady, peaceful, God-given supply. Comment Amen if you receive the promise of overflow in your house. Let me be clear. This isn't about getting rich. This is about getting right. Right with me, right in your heart, right in your understanding of who I am and what I want for you. I don't bless to impress. I bless to heal. I bless to free you from shame. I bless to make you a blessing to others. What's coming to you is not just for you. It's for the people who will be impacted by your obedience. It's for the ones you'll feed, the ones you'll help, the ones who will see your life and know that I am still the God who provides. There are too many things you've carried alone. Too many moments where you felt like you had to figure everything out yourself. That ends now. I'm lifting that burden off your shoulders. I'm stepping into the center of your home. I'm turning on the light in places that have been dim for too long. You've asked me to speak. Now I'm not just speaking, I'm acting. Look around you with new eyes. Pray before you clean. Worship while you walk from room to room. My spirit is there. I will guide you. I will show you what you need to see. You won't miss it. You won't overlook it. Even if it's been sitting right in front of you all this time, you'll know it when I show it. Because when I speak, it brings peace. It brings clarity. It brings stillness to your spirit. Don't be afraid of what you'll find. Some of it may bring up memories. Some of it may stir emotions you've tried to bury. But don't run from that. Let me meet you there. Let me speak into those wounds. I'm not only giving you something, you're going to be healed in the process. You're going to be set free from what you didn't even realize was still affecting you. This is more than a discovery. This is deliverance. There will be a moment, soon, where it all comes together. You'll remember this word. You'll remember this moment. And you'll say, God really was preparing me. That realization will come with tears, but not of sadness, of relief, of peace, of joy. And you'll know that you are seen, that you are known, that you are deeply, completely loved. Let this promise settle into your heart. I will not let you miss what belongs to you. I will not let what was meant for you be taken by another. You are not too late. You are not too far gone. You are not disqualified. Everything I promised is still yours. And now you are walking into it. It was hidden, not to hurt you, but to preserve it until your heart was ready. There are things God couldn't give you before because the timing wasn't right, the maturity wasn't there, or the healing hadn't begun. But now you've grown, you've humbled yourself. You've prayed when no one else knew. You've stayed faithful in the valley. You didn't stop seeking Him, even when everything felt silent. And because of that, you've entered the season of unveiling. What you're about to discover is not ordinary. It may come in the form of something small, a note, a record, a letter tucked away in a corner, or even something someone in your family once mentioned and you dismissed it. But now, God is awakening your memory. He's stirring your spirit. That stirring is the Holy Spirit preparing you to recognize what others overlooked. Comment 222 if you trust God to show you what no one else could. Is it possible to attract money by simply speaking some miraculous words? This 9-word script, verified by Harvard and 6 neuroscience labs, proves you absolutely can. People are using it from their couch and reporting unexpected bank deposits, cleared debts, and upgraded lives. It takes less than 30 seconds, but this secret won't stay online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. There is a blessing waiting in your home that carries more than monetary value. It carries answers, peace, healing. You've asked for clarity, and this is how it begins. It's not just about finding something, it's about what that something unlocks. Some of you will realize that what you find was meant to protect you all along, to remind you that God never stopped writing your story. You're not walking into this moment by accident. This is what the enemy tried to keep you from. That's why the resistance has been so heavy. That's why confusion, fear, and doubt tried to creep in. The enemy knew what was hidden was holy. He knew what was buried would break chains. He couldn't destroy it, so he tried to distract you from finding it. But he failed, because God's voice is louder than the noise. You don't need to panic. You don't need to turn your house upside down in fear. This is not about rushing. This is about listening. God will guide your hands. He will lead your eyes. Some of you will walk into a room and feel a pull to a certain corner, a certain item, a certain memory. Don't ignore it. That's how he speaks. In the quiet, in the stillness, in the peace that doesn't always make sense. There is someone in heaven, someone who once walked this earth and carried your last name, who prayed this would happen. They prayed you'd be the one to see what they couldn't, to finish what they started, to pick up what they had to lay down. And now, God is allowing that request to be fulfilled through you. What a holy assignment. What a powerful calling. You may not think of yourself as spiritual enough, wise enough, or strong enough, but God disagrees. He sees your heart. He knows your capacity. You were never meant to do this by yourself. That's why He's walking with you. That's why He's releasing His presence into your very home. You're not alone in this search. The one who holds the universe together is guiding you step by step. Comment Amen if you know God never leads without purpose. Some things will start to make sense now. Past conversations, childhood memories, that one comment your mother made but never explained, that drawer your father kept locked, that envelope your aunt told you to hold on to. Things that once felt small are beginning to feel significant. God is putting the puzzle pieces together. It may even come through a conversation you didn't expect. Someone might reach out to you out of the blue. Someone might bring up something that unlocks a memory. Don't brush it off. When God moves, He confirms, and He is confirming now not once, but multiple times. You'll know it's Him because it will come with peace, not pressure. Your obedience is opening things in the spirit realm. It's not just about what you're going to find. It's about what you're going to step into. Some of you will feel burdens lift that you didn't even realize were there. You'll feel lighter, clearer, more sure of your next step. That's how God works. He doesn't just give you what you ask for, He prepares you for what He gives. You've been asking Him for help. You've asked Him to send signs, open doors, and bring clarity. This is part of that answer. It might not look like how you expected it, but it's exactly what you need. What you're about to discover isn't the end of your story, it's the beginning of a new chapter. One marked by restoration, understanding, and peace. So, take a deep breath, pause, invite God into your space again. Walk through your home slowly. Pray in each room. Don't rush. Let His presence lead you. The breakthrough is near. What was hidden is about to come into view, and when it does, you will understand why the waiting had to happen. You'll see that God didn't forget you. He was preparing you. He is not just revealing what's hidden. He is redeeming what was lost, fixing what was broken, healing what hurt. This is the moment that changes everything. This is where the old cycles break and a new legacy begins. It's about what that discovery will shift in the spirit. It's about what will be broken off your life, what will be restored, what will finally make sense. Don't take this lightly. Don't dismiss the tug you feel inside. It is me, the Lord your God, drawing you close. The walls of your home have seen your struggle. They've heard your prayers. They've witnessed your quiet strength. And now, they will witness your breakthrough. There's a reason you're the one hearing this. Not a sibling, not a cousin, not a neighbor. You. Because you are the one who still listens. You are the one who hasn't hardened your heart. And that makes you the one I can trust with this sacred unveiling. Comment 333. If your faith says this word is for you and your house. I have heard every cry that came from your hallway, from your car, from your pillow. I saw when you had to smile in front of others but were breaking inside. I saw you stay faithful when you had every reason to give up. You felt invisible, but I watched you every single day. And I say to you now, your faith did not go unnoticed. Your obedience did not go unseen. And the reward I'm bringing is not only an answer, it's a sign of how deeply I know you. What's hidden in your home is not random. It has a purpose. Some of you are going to discover things that were left behind, forgotten, or ignored, but they carry weight in the spirit. They were meant to find you. Heaven assigned you as the one who would receive them. This moment was scheduled long before you were even born. And now that you're here, everything is aligning for the revelation to take place. What if everything you've been taught about money is a lie? A hidden 9-word prayer buried in a classified FBI report is now helping thousands attract wealth without lifting a finger. Scientists say it activates a 150 million-year-old part of your brain that controls abundance. Harvard-backed, lab-tested, life-changing. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. You may be wondering how to prepare. The answer is simple. Open your heart. Open your ears. Invite my spirit into every room. Speak my name as you walk through your house. Let peace guide you. Don't let fear rush you or doubt block you. Just move slowly, prayerfully, and expectantly. I will show you what to see. I will highlight it. You won't have to force anything. You'll know. There's something you need to hear clearly. I don't bless at random. I bless with design. Every miracle, every provision, every shift is deeply intentional. What's coming into your hands is not just to meet a need. It's to reveal my nature. To show you how well I provide, how closely I walk with you, how deeply I understand the journey you've been on. This is not just about financial change, it's about spiritual alignment. Comment 999. If you believe this alignment is unfolding now in your life, some of you will find things that trigger emotion. A scent, a memory, a voice from the past. Don't rush past those moments. I am there. I am healing parts of your heart that you thought would always ache. I'm reconnecting you to parts of your story that still need my touch. Because this isn't just about the blessing, it's about wholeness. It's about making peace with what was, so you can fully walk into what will be. And for those who say, "But I don't know where to look," I say, don't worry. I'm not asking you to figure it out. I'm asking you to be willing. Willing to pause, willing to listen, willing to trust me enough to slow down and let me lead. I will whisper to your heart. I will give you peace where you're meant to pause. and I will stir your spirit when it's time to move. Don't measure this moment by what you see with your eyes. Measure it by what you feel in your spirit. There is more happening than you realize. Heaven is not still right now. There are angels moving on assignment. There are doors unlocking in unseen places. There are answers being released into your life that were delayed until now. You are stepping into a moment that has eternal impact, and your yes matters more than you know. You might be the first in your family to believe God this way. You might be the only one praying like this, but you are not alone. Heaven is backing you. And what you find in obedience now will echo for generations. You're not just breaking curses, you're birthing legacy. You're not just walking into favor, you're becoming a carrier of change for those who come after you. This is why the enemy fought you so hard. This is why it felt like nothing was working. He tried to wear you out before the moment arrived, but you're still here, still standing, still open. And because of that, you will see with your own eyes what was once hidden in the dark. You will touch it, you will hold it, and you will know that I, the Lord your God, am faithful. You won't have to guess. When you find it, peace will settle in your heart. You'll feel it, not fear, not confusion, but peace. That's how you'll know it's from me. You'll remember this word. You'll remember this moment. And you'll realize it was all leading here. This is not a test, it's a release. You're not being judged, you're being trusted. God isn't standing over you with a clipboard. He's standing beside you with an open hand saying, "Walk with me. Let me show you. Let me prove to you that I know what you need and I never forgot you." What was hidden in your home is not just about finding something physical. It's about uncovering what God already placed in your atmosphere. There's been a covering over your life that's about to lift. What has been stored up for years, maybe even decades, is about to be placed into your hands. This word was sent to interrupt everything the enemy tried to convince you of. He wanted you to believe that nothing good ever happens for you, that blessings are for others, not for you, that doors don't open in your direction. But those were lies. And now God is silencing those voices with truth. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not cursed. You are covered, chosen, prepared. Comment 1111 if you believe the lies are breaking and the truth of God is rising in your life. There's something sacred about the home you live in, even if it doesn't feel special. You've maybe looked around and felt like it's just a place to sleep. Maybe it's full of stress. Maybe it holds memories that still hurt. But God is saying, I'm reclaiming the atmosphere. I'm making this house a dwelling place for peace again. And in that place of peace, you'll begin to see what you couldn't before. Because my presence always brings clarity. As you begin to walk through your rooms, don't look with just your natural eyes. Pray as you go. Ask me to show you, to lead your hands, to highlight what I've placed in your midst. It could be something you've walked past 1,000 times. It could be tucked in a place you never thought to check. But it's there. And when you find it, it won't just speak to your situation, it will speak to your soul. I'm not asking you to do this out of fear or pressure. I'm inviting you to do it with expectancy. This is not a treasure hunt. This is a holy encounter. A moment of alignment between heaven and earth. A moment where what's been stored in secret is finally brought into the light. You've been faithful with little, now I'm trusting you with more. I don't place blessing in the hands of the careless, I place it with the faithful. For too long, you've been carrying burdens that didn't belong to you. Emotional weights, financial pressure, lingering shame from things others did. But I am your healer. I am the one who wipes away every tear and restores what was lost. The discovery in your home is part of that restoration. It's a sign that the cycle has ended, that peace is returning, that provision is near, that what was broken is being made whole. Comment 555 if you believe that God is restoring peace and provision in your home. Why are neuroscientists obsessed with a 9-word sentence? Because this sentence, spoken once a day, is turning financial stress into sudden blessings. More than 19,000 people have already used it to erase debt and unlock a life of wealth, freedom, and peace. The results are so powerful, some believe it's divine. If you're seeing this, you're lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. Some of you will walk into rooms and feel something different. That's not your imagination. That's my spirit preparing the space. Don't ignore those moments. Follow them. Pause. Sit. Pray. I'll guide you from a place of peace, not panic. You won't have to force it. You won't have to second guess. When you find it, your spirit will know. And when you know, joy will rise in you like a flood. This is not about just uncovering the hidden. It's about unlocking what has been blocked. The enemy tried to block your sight, your hope, your direction. But now I'm clearing the fog. I'm showing you the open path. You don't have to live in delay anymore. You don't have to settle for barely enough. I have more for you, not because of what you've earned, but because of who I am. You may ask, but why now? Because this is your appointed time. Every season has its moment of release. The seeds have been sown, the prayers have been lifted, and now the time has come to harvest. The windows of heaven are open. What I've prepared in private will soon be revealed in public. And it begins in your home. It begins with your faith. It begins when you take the first step and believe I will show you what's been kept for you. You are not too far gone. Your house is not too messy for me to enter. Your past is not too broken for me to redeem. I enter where I'm welcomed, and right now, I'm walking through your walls, touching what you thought was ordinary and breathing over what you thought was forgotten. There's more happening than you can see. Trust the process. Walk with me. This moment will be remembered, not because of how big the discovery is, but because of what it means. It will mark the day where you stopped surviving and started receiving. The day where the pressure lifted, where clarity returned, where peace settled over your heart like a blanket. That's what my presence does. That's what my timing brings. Not confusion, but confirmation. And when the blessing is uncovered, remember, it's not only for you, it's for those connected to you, for the ones who will walk into the legacy you're now receiving, for the children who will never know the fear you knew, for the future that won't carry the shame of the past. You are the beginning of something better, and it starts here. It starts now. God is already moving. The release has already begun, and the thing that has been hidden in your home is about to come forward, not just to bless you, but to mark the end of a long season of struggle. You've been through the fire, and the fire didn't consume you. You were tested, and you didn't fold. And because of that, God says, now I trust you to carry the blessing I've preserved. Comment Amen if you believe God is releasing what's been preserved just for you. What you are about to find may not look valuable to the world. It may not be covered in gold. It may not have a price tag that makes sense. But in the spirit, it holds power. It's tied to your family line. It's connected to prayers spoken generations ago. You may be the first to find it, but you are not the first to seek it. Those who came before you cried out for it, and now God is allowing their cries to echo through your life. This is how generational healing begins. Through obedience, through faith, through one person who chooses to believe that God still speaks, still moves, and still reveals. You are that person. You are the one heaven is trusting with this task. Not because you're perfect, but because you're available. You're listening. You're still hoping. And that's all God needs. There is a sound being released from heaven over your home, a sound of shaking, a sound of awakening. Things that were stuck are being moved, doors that were closed are being opened. What you couldn't access before is now being released. God is unlocking hidden things, not just physically, but spiritually. You're going to start seeing signs, small nudges, dreams, memories that rise out of nowhere. All of it is God pointing you toward what's been buried. God says, "Final alert. You are about to lose God's hand from your life. Only 5 minutes remain before heaven erases your name from the blessing. Don't skip God. Listen now. Stop. Don't scroll past this. What you're about to hear isn't just another voice in the noise. This is heaven calling. This is your moment. Right now, God is issuing one final alert to your soul. He's not whispering. He's not asking. He is speaking with urgency. This is your last 5 minutes of divine grace before the door closes. What you do next will shape your destiny. If you care about your future, your peace, your blessing, stay. Do not walk away. If you let this slip, you may lose something heaven wrote for you before you were even born. Comment Amen to say you're listening to him. You need to understand what's really being said here. God's hand, his favor, his covering, his divine backing, that's what's at risk. The blessing that has followed you, the mercy that's held your life together, the protection that kept you alive in moments you didn't even realize danger was near, all of that is about to be lifted. Not because he stopped loving you, but because you've drifted far, too far. And now heaven is making one final reach before letting go. This isn't a scare tactic, it's a rescue call. When God says you're about to lose his hand, it means your life will no longer be under the shelter of the Most High. That hedge of protection you never saw but always felt it will lift. That supernatural favor, the unexplainable open doors, the near misses with disaster, those were never luck. They were God. And now he's warning you. You're standing on the very edge of losing it all. Take a breath. Think about this. Hasn't it felt like things have been slipping? Like the peace you once had is cracking? Like your strength has limits now? That's not coincidence. That's what life looks like when heaven begins to pull back. But the grace is, God is still warning you. That means there's still time. Not much, but some. That's why you must listen until the end. Don't get distracted. Don't move on to something else. Stay with this. Comment 1111 if you believe this is not by accident. God has been patient. He watched you put him second, then third, then nowhere. He watched you try to carry yourself, to chase success without him, to fix wounds without his healing. And he waited. He waited through your cold prayers, through the silence, through your nights of doubt. But now the hourglass is nearly empty. He is sending out a final alert, not to punish, but to wake you up before the heavens fall silent over your life. This moment is sacred. What's happening right now in your spirit is not random. There is a divine stirring. You may feel fear or chills or tears, whatever it is. It's not emotion. It's your soul reacting to God's voice. Because deep inside, you know you've been drifting. You've let go of the hand that once led you through the fire, through heartbreak, through battles you didn't even have strength for. And now God is saying, return before I release you. He never wanted this moment to come. But a just God cannot keep his hand on someone who keeps rejecting him. He can't keep giving you blessing after blessing while you live like he's optional. He won't force his presence into a life that keeps slamming the door. But still he's reaching. That alone is mercy. You're still breathing. You still have a chance. You're still hearing him. That means the heavens haven't shut you out yet. Do not take that lightly. Think of every time God spared you, that accident that didn't happen, the night you should have overdosed but woke up, the heartbreak that felt like death but somehow you healed. Those weren't accidents. Those were divine interventions. And now, the God who did all that for you is saying, I am warning you, this is your final alert. Only 5 minutes remain before I remove your name from the book of this blessing. You cannot afford to ignore this. This is not religion. This is relationship. God is not calling you to rules. He is calling you to Himself. He wants your heart, your time, your honesty, your return. He wants to walk with you again, to be the one you run to, not the one you remember only when everything falls apart. He wants to restore what your rebellion has broken. He wants to bring peace back to your spirit, clarity back to your mind, power back to your walk. But you must respond. You must come back. The heavens are not playing games with time. When God says only 5 minutes remain, He means the window is closing. Whatever He's held back from the enemy, He will no longer hold. Whatever angels were on assignment to protect you, they will step back. Whatever blessings were delayed for your sake, they will be released to another. God is patient, but He is also just. If this moved your heart already, I ask you to like this video not for me, but as a sign to God that you're receiving His voice right now. Return to your first love. Return to the God who covered you when no one else saw your pain. Return to the altar. You may not have a church near you, but your heart is an altar. Right there in your room, your car, wherever you are, this is holy ground now. God is not far. He is right beside you, speaking. But soon, if you keep ignoring Him, that voice will go silent. And when heaven goes silent, the world gets louder. But it doesn't love you. It will destroy you. God's hand is not something you can replace. No success, no relationship, no amount of self-motivation can ever match what His presence provides. That hand has held back death. That hand has lifted your head when shame covered you. That hand has healed you from trauma and given you a future when everyone else wrote you off. And now, that hand is pulling back not to punish, but because you've refused to hold it. Cry out now. You don't need fancy words, just honesty. Say, God, I'm here, I'm listening, don't let me go. Is it possible to attract money by simply speaking some miraculous words? This 9-word script, verified by Harvard and 6 neuroscience labs, proves you absolutely can. People are using it from their couch and reporting unexpected bank deposits, cleared debts, and upgraded lives. It takes less than 30 seconds. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. Because He doesn't want to. Even now, He's watching to see your response. He is watching to see if this warning will change your direction. You're not just hearing this by chance. God knew exactly when you'd see this, and He orchestrated it as one last reach before the heavens close this chapter forever. You didn't scroll away. You didn't silence His voice this time, and that matters more than you know. Because what's coming next is not just a warning, it's an invitation, a second chance, a divine rescue. And you still have time, but not much. Comment 222 if you trust that God is still reaching for you right now. You need to understand this. You are not forgotten. God hasn't written you off. Even though He's warning you, He hasn't given up on you. He is holy and righteous, but He is also deeply loving. He could have already let go. He could have removed His hand without saying a word, but He didn't. He came with a final alert. That's not anger. That's love in its purest form. The kind of love that refuses to stay silent when you're walking toward destruction. Heaven is not out to punish you, it's crying out to save you. You've been running on empty. On the outside, you've kept moving, pretending, working, doing what you have to do. But inside, something's been dying slowly. You've known for a while now that you've lost your way. You've smiled through storms. You've buried your confusion. You've ignored the growing distance between you and the one who once gave you peace. But now that gap has become too wide. And if you don't turn back now, it might become permanent. God's not just warning you about losing favor, He's talking about losing connection. And when that connection breaks, everything else begins to unravel. You might still function, but you'll be spiritually disconnected. No direction, no discernment, no covering. The attacks will increase, but your strength will decrease. That's what life looks like without God's hand. And He doesn't want you to experience that. That's why He's pleading with you now. The devil didn't destroy you because God's hand blocked him. You didn't drown in your darkest season because God held you up. Even in your rebellion, God still covered you. He still kept your mind from breaking, your heart from giving out, your body from falling apart. He held you together when everything around you was trying to pull you under. And that's the hand He's warning you about losing, not a small thing, not a symbolic thing, the very thing that has kept you alive. God knows what's coming. He knows the battles you don't see, the traps that are being set, the people who are smiling to your face but planning against you. He knows what the next year holds. You don't. But He does. That's why He's not waiting anymore. He's giving you this final alert so you don't walk into what's next unprotected. He's trying to stop you from stepping into a future without Him. Comment 333. If you declare your faith that God is still with you, you need to understand how heaven operates. When your name is attached to a blessing, it means the favor of God is assigned to follow you. Opportunities open. Healing begins. Battles are won without a sword. But when your name is removed, that favor lifts. Things don't just get hard, they get impossible. Not because God is punishing you, but because you're no longer walking with Him. He only covers what's in covenant with Him, and you've been walking outside that covenant for too long. But here's the mercy: you don't have to earn your way back, you just have to return. That's the beauty of grace. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be honest. God is not asking you to fix everything overnight. He's asking you to come back, to make Him first again, to put down what's pulling you away, to stop giving your soul to things that are draining your spirit. He knows you're tired. He knows you've been fighting battles no one sees. But He also knows you've been running from the only one who can truly save you. You've tried relationships, success, distractions, even silence, but none of it has filled the void. That's because nothing created can replace the Creator, and your soul is starving for His presence again. This is the urgency, not fear, not shame, but clarity. God is saying, choose me before time runs out. You're not hearing this just to feel something emotional. This isn't inspiration. This is a moment of decision. What will you do with this? Will you keep going as if you didn't hear God speak? Or will you finally surrender the pride, the excuses, the distractions, and say, God, I need you back? Because that one decision will determine whether His hand stays or lifts, whether your name remains on the blessing or is erased from it. Let that sink in. The Bible is full of people who missed their moment. Esau gave up his birthright for a bowl of food. Judas traded the Savior for silver. The 5 foolish virgins missed the wedding because they didn't prepare. God loves deeply, but He won't be mocked. He gives warnings because He honors free will. But once the warning is ignored, He allows the consequences. Not to harm you, but to show you what life without Him really looks like. Don't let that be your story. You don't have to keep running. You don't have to keep hiding. You don't have to wait for rock bottom. You can return now, and if you do, the blessing will remain. His hand will cover you again, His voice will guide you again. His presence will fill the emptiness. But you must act now. This is your 5-minute warning. This is the moment before the gates close. And when they close, they won't open again the same way. What if everything you've been taught about money is a lie? A hidden 9-word prayer, buried in a classified FBI report, is now helping thousands attract wealth without lifting a finger. Scientists say it activates a 150-million-year-old part of your brain that controls abundance. Harvard-backed, lab-tested, life-changing, but the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. God is calling your name. He still has plans for you, real ones, good ones, a future with hope, but not without Him. You don't get the promise without the provider. And right now, He's offering you both, but only if you respond. Not tomorrow, not when you feel more spiritual. Right now, while your heart is soft, while your ears are open, while heaven is still extending its hand, reach back, say yes, whisper a prayer, fall to your knees, cry if you have to. Just don't ignore this. You are still loved. You are still chosen, but you must choose Him back. God doesn't exaggerate. When He says time is short, He means the window is narrowing, and fast. The door you're standing in front of is about to shut, and the next time you try to open it, it might be sealed. He's not trying to scare you. He's trying to save you from the silence that comes when heaven stops calling your name. You've felt that tug. You've heard the whisper. You've had moments where you almost turned back, but something distracted you. You kept saying, tomorrow, next week, after I figure things out. But now, time has run out for delays. This isn't just another nudge. This is the final pull before the heavens go still. That's what losing His hand looks like. It's not always punishment. It's absence. And nothing is more terrifying than when God goes quiet and lets you have the life you've been choosing without Him. Comment 555 if you're choosing to respond before the door closes. Let's be real. You know you've been drifting. You've felt it. That distance, that lack of clarity. The prayers you used to pray have grown cold. The fire that once lit your spirit feels like flickering embers now. Your heart used to be sensitive to His voice, and now you're not even sure if you can still hear Him. That's not just life. That's what it feels like when the presence of God starts pulling back, little by little. But the beauty is, if you feel that loss, that means you once had it. That means God was close. That means you've tasted His nearness. And if you've tasted it, you can have it again. But you have to want Him more than you want comfort, more than you want control, more than you want to be right, or numb, or safe in your own way. You must want Him more than the thing that pulled you away from Him in the first place. The warning isn't coming to crush you. It's coming to break the lie that you're fine without Him. There are things coming in your life that you will not survive without the hand of God. This isn't a hypothetical warning. This is spiritual preparation. You've already seen glimpses, anxiety that won't lift, relationships that keep falling apart, confusion about your purpose, a cycle that feels like it's eating you alive. That's not normal. That's spiritual warfare. And it's only getting louder because the enemy sees the covering around you beginning to weaken. He wants you uncovered, unprotected, alone, but God is saying, not yet. Not if you return now. This is your Nehemiah moment, a chance to rebuild what's been broken, a chance to lay your life back before the one who gave it to you, a chance to say, God, I've been wrong, I've wandered, but I'm not too proud to come home. He's not expecting perfection. He's not waiting for you to fix yourself. He's waiting for your surrender. That's all. Because He can't heal what you keep hiding. He can't restore what you won't release. Comment 777 if you know you need His presence more than anything else. The enemy wants you to think it's too late, that you've failed too many times, that God is tired of forgiving you, that you've outsinned His grace. But that's a lie. If you were too far gone, you wouldn't be hearing this. You wouldn't feel conviction. Your heart would be hard. But it's not. It's broken, yes, but it's still tender. And a broken and contrite heart, God will never turn away. He doesn't just want to visit you. He wants to dwell in you again. He wants to walk with you in the quiet moments. Speak to you when no one else understands. Guide your steps when the road ahead looks impossible. He wants to be your peace when the storm rises, your strength when your knees buckle, your anchor when everything else is shaking. That's what's at stake. You're not just losing blessings, you're losing the intimacy that makes this life bearable. The world is loud. It tells you to fix yourself, to chase after success, to numb the pain, to hustle harder. But God is whispering something different. He's saying, be still. Return, let me fight for you. He's saying, you're not supposed to do this alone, but you've been trying, and it's been draining you. And now, you're tired, not just physically, but spiritually, soul tired. And that's where God steps in. He doesn't wait until you're strong. He moves when you finally admit you're not. You're not weak for needing Him. You were designed to. It's not shameful to say, God, I can't do this anymore. In fact, that's where transformation begins. That's where the chains fall. That's where the healing starts. In surrender. That's what the devil never wants you to do, surrender. Because he knows once you stop resisting God, heaven opens over you. The hand that was pulling away returns. The favor that was fading comes rushing back. The protection, the provision, the peace, it all returns. Why are neuroscientists obsessed with a 9-word sentence? Because this sentence, spoken once a day, is turning financial stress into sudden blessings. More than 19,000 people have already used it to erase debt and unlock a life of wealth, freedom, and peace. The results are so powerful, some believe it's divine. If you're seeing this, you're lucky. The page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. You don't have to beg for it. You just have to receive it. And God is ready. He's more ready than you are. He's been waiting. He's been watching. Every time you felt alone, He was still near. Every time you cried in silence, He was collecting your tears. Every time you said, "Why does it still hurt?" He was preparing the healing. But He needed your heart back first. Because He doesn't force Himself, He enters where He's invited. So let Him in. Say it right now if you must. God, come back into my life. I don't want to walk this road without you. I need your hand on me again. I need your spirit in me again. This is not the end of your story, but it could be the end of your distance from Him. You don't have to keep living in survival mode. You were created for communion, not chaos. For glory, not guilt. For light, not fear. But the shift starts with one choice. Turn back. Don't delay. Don't wait for a louder sign. This is the sign. This is the final alert. This is the voice of the one who made you saying, I still want you. And that should break you in the best way. Because when the Creator of the universe says, I'm still here, even after all the times you turned away, that's not weakness. That's divine mercy. That's what real love looks like. Steady, relentless, true, and it's yours. But only if you take hold of it before it passes by. And if you let it pass, if you walk away now, heaven will honor your silence. The heavens will close what was once open. The blessing that had your name on it will be reassigned. God isn't bluffing. He's giving you truth. This is your final call to return to the covering of God. the shield that's protected you in storms you never even saw coming. And I need you to hear this with everything in you. Without his covering, the enemy doesn't need permission anymore. Without his hand, you're open to attacks that your own strength cannot defend. Without his voice, you're left to the noise of a world that only knows how to deceive, tempt, and destroy. Comment 999 if you know you're not strong enough to walk without him anymore. This is a spiritual emergency, and heaven is sounding the alarm. You've tried walking alone. You've tried managing the pain by yourself. You've buried your conviction and called it peace. You've told yourself you're okay, but God sees past the surface. He sees the sleepless nights, the frustration, the constant internal war. He sees how you pretend to be strong while everything inside you is unraveling, and even now, he's not angry. He's reaching. He's saying, come back before what you're holding on to breaks you. Because that's the truth. What you've been clinging to in place of him, it can't hold your weight. That person, that job, that plan, that secret habit, it cannot carry the weight of your soul. And God has let it go on long enough. Not because he approves, but because he's patient. But the time of silence is ending. He's given space, grace, delay after delay. But now comes the moment of decision. God will never beg, but he will always warn. And this is that warning. This is the final alert. 5 minutes of grace. 5 minutes to respond. 5 minutes to say, Lord, I hear you. I'm done running. If you keep ignoring this, you are choosing to walk uncovered. And if you think the spiritual battle has been intense so far, wait until you face it without the hand of God fighting for you. That's not a threat, it's a sobering truth. His silence is never a sign of absence. It's a sign of withheld judgment. It's mercy giving you time to come back before it's too late. Do not confuse delayed consequences with approval. Just because lightning hasn't struck doesn't mean the skies aren't preparing to shake. Just because the door hasn't slammed shut doesn't mean it won't. God has been holding back what the enemy has planned. But even God's protection has a boundary when we choose to reject him repeatedly. He is loving, but he is holy. He is forgiving, but he is also righteous. You cannot walk in his favor while constantly refusing his voice. So what happens when the 5 minutes run out? What does it look like to have your name removed from the blessing? It means the doors that were once supernaturally opened begin to close. The opportunities dry up. The people that once poured into you begin to walk away. The prayers that once had power begin to feel hollow. Your discernment becomes foggy. Your direction gets lost. And even though you're still alive, you begin to feel spiritually dead. That's what it looks like when the heavens pull back and say, you chose this path. But it doesn't have to end like that. You can still stop this. You can still respond, not with grand gestures, not with empty words, but with true repentance, with a heart that says, God, I've pushed you away, but I'm not letting you go this time. That's what he's waiting for. Not perfection, not performance, just surrender. That's what activates grace. That's what calls the angels back into position. That's what keeps your name in the book of favor. Comment 1010 if you're choosing to come back before the heavens fall silent. This banned wealth signal was hidden in a government vault for over 70 years until now. It's a simple 9-word brain trigger used by elites to attract unlimited money while the rest of the world struggles. But the moment too many people see this, it could be deleted. Click the link in the description and comments before it's taken down forever. Think about this. How many times has God spared you? Not because you deserved it, but because he saw something in you worth fighting for. That's the same love speaking to you now. The same voice that called Lazarus from the grave. The same breath that parted the Red Sea. The same spirit that raised Christ from the dead. That voice is now calling you not to judge, but to restore. He's saying, you don't have to go into the next season wounded and alone. This is your moment to rebuild, your moment to return to your first love, to the place where peace flows like a river, where joy doesn't depend on circumstances, where your battles are fought in the spirit, not in your own mind. You've been trying to do spiritual warfare with emotional tools and it's not working. You need God back, not as a side piece, not as a Sunday obligation, but as the center of your life again. And when you give Him that place, everything changes. You start walking with confidence again, not because of your strength, but because of His presence. You stop questioning your worth because you're rooted in His truth. You stop fearing the future because you're guided by the one who holds it. That's what His hand brings: security, clarity, identity. But you only get it if you stay in His will. So choose Him now, before the window closes. This isn't about emotion. This isn't about hype. This is about the reality of your eternity. You are standing at a fork in the road. One path leads to God's voice, God's favor, and God's peace. The other path leads to silence, confusion, and struggle. And the difference between the two? Your response right now. You may not feel ready. You may not feel worthy. But that's why it's called grace. You don't have to climb your way back. You just have to turn around. The Father is already running toward you. Like the prodigal son, you don't even have to explain everything. Just come back home. God is still reaching. Even as the clock runs down, even with the weight of your choices pressing in, even with angels ready to withdraw, He is still whispering, "You don't have to lose me." That whisper is love. And that love is fierce. It's not passive. It's not casual. It's the same love that went to the cross, that wore the crown of thorns, that bled and died for you while you were still lost. And now that same voice is calling you back from the edge. The final alert wasn't a threat, it was a lifeline. A desperate call from heaven that says, "I still want you." Comment 1212 if you believe God's mercy is still reaching for you. You've heard the noise of the world for so long that God's voice has started to feel distant. But that's not because He's far away, it's because you've let other things get louder. You've let doubt speak louder than truth. You've let pain speak louder than promise. You've let sin speak louder than grace. But now, in this moment, God is turning the volume of His Spirit back up, and you know it. You feel it. You hear it in the deepest part of you. There is a divine tension in your heart right now. It's the pull between staying as you are and stepping back into His arms. One voice says, "You've gone too far." But the other, the louder, truer one says, "You are still mine." God doesn't abandon His own, but He will let you walk away if you keep choosing everything else over Him. That's why the 5-minute warning is not dramatic, it's divine. Heaven works in appointed times, kairos moments, and when those moments come, you either move into them or you miss them. Don't mistake God's kindness for indifference. Just because He hasn't let the storm break over your life yet, doesn't mean the clouds aren't forming. He's been holding them back, not forever, but long enough to give you one more chance. This is it. This is that chance. You've been asking for clarity, for confirmation, for a sign. This is it. God's voice is clear. Return to me before you lose everything I've placed over your life. That sounds heavy because it is. There's no sugarcoating it. The mantle you carry is holy. The favor you've walked in was never random. The open doors you've had were written with your name in heaven. And if you keep drifting, all of that will be removed, not because God stopped loving you, but because He can't cover what won't walk with Him. This is about alignment. God doesn't bless rebellion, He blesses obedience. You can't keep asking for miracles while ignoring the miracle worker. You can't keep praying for peace while feeding the chaos. You can't keep seeking His blessings while rejecting His presence. That's not how the kingdom works. God is not a vending machine. He's a Father. He's holy. He's just. And He's calling you not to fear but to order. Back into His rhythm. Back into His design. Back into His arms. And when you return, everything that looked dead can come back to life. You've been living in survival mode, trying to make sense of your own plans, trying to fight spiritual battles with human logic. That's why you're exhausted. That's why nothing seems to fully satisfy anymore. Because your soul is starving for something only God can give. His Spirit, His presence, His voice, His peace. Comment 1515. If you know you can't do this without Him anymore. Can just saying 9 words daily actually make money flow into your life? A top neuroscientist says yes, and the FBI accidentally confirmed it. This forgotten prayer is now transforming ordinary people into debt-free and financially free for life. But this secret won't stay online long. Click the link in description and comments now to access it before it's permanently deleted. This is not weakness, it's surrender. And surrender is where revival begins. There are blessings that are still hovering above your life waiting. Breakthroughs that are still circling paused, not because they were denied, but because the vessel wasn't ready. God doesn't pour glory into hearts that are halfway committed. He doesn't place miracles into hands still holding idols. That's why the blessing has been delayed. He's been waiting for your heart to make room again. But the time for waiting is almost over. What you don't surrender in grace, you will eventually lose in consequence. That's the pattern all through Scripture. Israel walked in circles for 40 years because they refused to obey. Samson lost his strength when he kept playing games with his calling. Saul lost the kingdom when he prioritized people over obedience. And Judas lost the Savior when he tried to control the plan. God will not let you carry His name while rejecting His nature. That's why He's calling you out now. Before the shaking begins, before the blessing is removed, before the silence takes over. And the fact that you're still hearing this is proof that He hasn't turned away yet. He is near. The presence you once felt can still return. The favor you once walked in can still be restored. But it starts here, with one real choice: return. Don't look for a perfect moment. This is it. Don't wait to feel more spiritual. Just speak. Right now. God, I want you back. I need you. I've pushed you aside, but I don't want to go another step without you. Say it and mean it. That's all He's asking. God sees your pain. He sees your struggle. He sees how the weight of life has pressed in. But He's not angry at your weakness. He's concerned about your distance, because distance from Him is what breaks you, not the storm. The storm can rage, but if you're close to God, you're safe. It's only when you drift that the water starts to swallow you. That's why Peter sank. He took his eyes off Jesus. So fix your eyes again. Lift your hands again. Cry out again. Don't miss this holy moment. The Spirit of God is near. He's not coming with condemnation. He's coming with restoration. He's not saying, "How could you?" He's saying, "I'm still here." That's the heart of your Father. Always ready to restore, but never willing to be second in your life. He doesn't take leftovers. He wants the center of your heart. This is your moment. Not next week. Not when you feel more worthy. Not after you get your life together. Right now, God isn't waiting for your perfection. He's asking for your return. Because you can't get right without Him. You can't find peace without His presence. and you can't fight the darkness that's been pressing in unless His light comes back to the center of your life. Comment 1717 if you believe He's still giving you time. The hour is later than you think. This isn't just about your emotions. This is about your eternity. If you miss this call, the silence that follows will be deafening. When heaven pulls back and stops reaching, you'll feel it. That's what happens when you've hardened your heart too long. When the Spirit keeps knocking, but no one answers. When God's voice becomes just background noise you ignore out of habit. That's how people lose the anointing. That's how destinies are missed. Don't think for a moment that God owes you another opportunity. He doesn't. Every moment of grace is a gift. Every stirring in your heart is mercy. You're not guaranteed another chance like this. That's why it's urgent. That's why this matters. The blessing is still yours if you respond. He has held the door open, but He won't hold it forever. You need to hear this: God still has plans for you. Good ones, real ones. There's still a calling on your life. You were never created to just survive, to just get by, to just numb the pain and fake your way through your days. You were created to walk in power, to live with purpose, to speak light into darkness. But none of that happens apart from Him. You don't just need inspiration, you need transformation. You don't just need a better mindset, you need a resurrected heart. And only God can do that. That's what this is about. Not fear, not shame. Restoration, renewal, revival. That's what's on the line. But you must turn. You must open your heart again. You must be willing to admit you've tried to do it without Him, and it's not working, and it never will. Because nothing created can hold your soul together like the one who created it. You've prayed half-hearted prayers. You've walked with one foot in and one foot out. You've entertained the idea of returning, but never really let go of what's been pulling you away. But God doesn't bless halfway. He doesn't cover what's not surrendered. He doesn't anoint what you're only pretending to give Him. So choose now, fully, honestly, entirely. Why are 55 countries using the same mysterious money script? Because a leaked research file just exposed a 9-word pattern that activates wealth-attracting pathways in the brain. Repeat it daily, and watch money flow like water into your life. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. It won't take God long to respond. The moment you turn, heaven moves. That's what happened with the prodigal son. He didn't even make it all the way home before the father came running. That's what God is ready to do for you: run to you, wrap you in robes of righteousness. Place the ring of identity back on your hand. Kill the fatted calf and rejoice because his child has returned. But the father didn't chase the son into the far country. He waited until the son turned around, until he left the place of rebellion, until he walked away from the empty things that drained his soul. And that's where you are now, standing at the edge of decision. The blessing is behind one door. Silence is behind the other. God has already chosen you. Now you must choose Him. Comment Amen if you've made the decision to return, not just with your lips but with your whole heart. It's not too late. Even if you've wasted years, even if you've fallen into things you're ashamed of, even if everyone else has given up on you, God hasn't. He never left. He never stopped watching. He never stopped believing in the promise He placed inside you. But His belief doesn't override your free will. He'll never force you to choose life, but He will make the choice clear. And that's what He's doing now. With love, with urgency, with clarity. He's not looking for the perfect prayer, just an honest one. God, I'm tired of doing this without you. I'm ready to come back. Don't let me lose your hand. That's all it takes. A broken cry is more powerful than a polished performance. He's always responded to the humble, always healed the hurting, always restored the broken. But the proud, the resistant, he lets them walk their own way. Please don't walk away. You may not feel strong, but God's strength is made perfect in your weakness. You may not feel worthy, but Christ already made a way through the cross. You may not know how to come back, but He's already opened the path. You may not feel spiritual, but that has nothing to do with grace. Grace meets you where you are. Grace wraps around you and lifts you out of what you couldn't escape on your own. That's the power of the gospel. It's not about what you can do, it's about what's already been done. But that gift, eternal life, real peace, divine blessing must be received. And the clock is ticking. Heaven is holding its breath to see what you will choose. And if you say yes, if you return now, the same hand that was about to lift off your life will fall fresh on you with new fire. The same spirit that once felt distant will come rushing in with power, and what was delayed will begin again. The 5 minutes may be winding down, but 1 second of surrender can redeem what years of running tried to ruin. There is something holy happening right now, not in the sky, not in some distant realm, but right where you are. Heaven is near. The Spirit of God is present. This isn't about a feeling, it's about a moment. A divine pause in time where your heart is fully exposed to the one who made it. God sees you, all of you, and He's not flinching, He's not disgusted, He's reaching. You've been holding guilt like it's a chain, but He holds forgiveness like a key. You've carried shame as if it's a sentence, but God carries mercy like a river, always flowing, always moving, always enough. You were never meant to walk around heavy like this. That weight wasn't made for you. You've been trying to survive under pressure you weren't designed to carry without God's hand holding you up. Comment 3333 if you believe that what the enemy used to break you, God is about to use to rebuild you. The blessing is not just a gift, it's a place, a covering, a divine atmosphere where things align, chains break, and favor follows. That's what you're about to lose if you don't respond. Not just good things, but God things. Not just comfort, but calling. Not just support, but supernatural strength. And what's worse, once your name is removed from that blessing, you'll start living beneath your identity. You'll start accepting things God never meant for you. That's the danger. When you live outside the blessing, you'll start calling chaos normal. You'll think stress is just part of life. You'll start to believe anxiety is your personality, that pain is your portion, that confusion is how it's supposed to feel. But it's not. That's not who you are. That's not your inheritance. You are not meant to wander. You are not meant to ache with no relief. You are not meant to live disconnected from your Creator. But if you keep walking away from God, you'll forget who you really are. God is calling you back to your identity, back to the place where you are more than your mistakes, more than your trauma, more than the mess. You are His. You are chosen. You are called by name. But names can be erased if they're not claimed. That's what's at stake. That's why He's giving you one more chance. He's not trying to make you earn your way back. He's just asking you to come home. There's nothing you've done that His blood hasn't already covered. No failure too deep, no distance too far. But grace must be received before it's too late. Don't let pride delay your rescue. Don't let fear block your return. Don't let shame tell you God is finished with you. If He were finished, you wouldn't be reading this. If heaven had closed the door, your spirit wouldn't still be stirred. That stirring, that's God. That ache in your chest, that's His Spirit moving. That burning in your heart, that's your soul recognizing your Father's voice. Comment 2222 if you know your heart is waking up to the truth again. What secret did the FBI hide about your brain and money? They discovered a phrase just 9 words long that flips a switch in your mind to attract wealth without effort. It's already changed the lives of thousands of people in just weeks. If you're seeing this, you're lucky the page might disappear any moment. Click the link in the description and comments to know this secret before it's deleted forever. You don't need to perform. You don't need the perfect words. You just need to say, "God, I'm done running." That's it. He can work with that. He can meet you in that. The Holy Spirit isn't waiting for a speech. He's waiting for surrender. And surrender doesn't look like shame, it looks like freedom. It looks like peace returning to your mind. It looks like chains breaking in the silence. It looks like the weight finally lifting from your soul. You've been fighting battles that were never yours to fight. You've been trying to manage life without the one who gives life. And now you're tired, drained, confused. But that's exactly where God moves best. He's always drawn to the weak, to the desperate, to the ones who finally say, "I can't do this without you anymore." That's the moment heaven responds. That's the moment breakthrough begins. But you have to want him more than you want the things that distracted you, more than the validation, more than the escape, more than the temporary comfort. God's not asking you to fix it all. He's asking you to come back to him so he can start healing what you couldn't. Restoration doesn't begin with answers. It begins with presence. And right now, his presence is near. He is closer than your next breath, waiting to be let back in. You are still called. That hasn't changed. But your calling doesn't function without your connection. Without God's hand, even your gifts start to dry up. Even your talents become burdens. Even your success becomes empty. Because nothing works the way it's supposed to without the one who gave it purpose. Don't just survive. Come back to your source, your foundation, your first love. He's not holding your past over you. He's holding your future in front of you. You don't need to crawl back. You don't need to explain every mistake. You just need to say yes right now. Let him fill the silence you've been living with. Let him bring life back to the places that have felt dead. Let him remind you what joy feels like again, not the kind that fades, but the kind that anchors you in every storm. This is your turning point, the moment everything shifts, not because of anything you've done, but because of what Jesus already finished. The cross is still enough, the blood still covers, the tomb is still empty, and grace still runs deeper than your sin. God is pressing on your heart because he's trying to save something in you that the world tried to kill. And even though you've fallen, even though you've drifted, he still says, "I want you." That's not just love, that's a covenant, a promise from a God who has never walked away, even when you did. He saw every late night when you cried alone. He saw the battles you never told anyone about. He saw you trying to be strong when you were breaking inside. And still, he loved you. Still, he waited. Still, he held back the storm so you could have one more chance to say yes. You didn't miss it, not yet, but the clock is still moving. Comment 4444 if you feel this deep in your soul and you're choosing to receive it. God doesn't work in guilt, he works in grace. He doesn't corner you into fear, he invites you into freedom. And the freedom he's offering right now isn't a feeling, it's a life. A life led by his Spirit, anchored in his truth, covered by his hand. A life that isn't perfect, but one that is protected. A life where you know you're never walking alone again. Where even the valley doesn't shake you because you know who walks with you. The danger of ignoring this moment isn't just about missing peace. It's about being vulnerable to the enemy's plans. When you're not covered by God, you're exposed to everything that was waiting to destroy you. The depression, the cycles, the spiritual attacks, the broken relationships, the confusion. These aren't just emotional struggles, they are spiritual consequences of drifting too far from God's hand. And that's why He's calling you back. Not because He needs you, because He loves you. He wants to rescue your mind before it breaks. He wants to rescue your purpose before it dies. He wants to restore the version of you that you haven't seen in years, the one that still believes, the one that still hopes, the one that remembers what it's like to feel God close. You haven't lost that person. They're still inside you. They're just buried under layers of distraction, disappointment, and pain. But God is peeling all that back right now. That's what His presence does. It cuts through the noise. It silences the lies. It brings your soul back to life, and you're feeling it even now. That shift, that warmth, that ache, that's not manipulation. That's the Holy Spirit knocking. That's heaven saying, open the door before it closes. Because here's the truth. If you don't, something will be lost. Not just peace, not just blessing, but connection. And once the connection breaks, your spirit will wander without direction. You'll start searching for something you already had but gave away. That's the tragedy when we trade nearness to God for things that don't last. He's not asking for your performance. He's asking for your presence. Come back to Him, not when it's convenient. Now, because now is holy. Comment 5555 if you're choosing not to walk away from this moment. If you've ever wondered how people lose their fire, how they go from passionate to numb, from devoted to distant, it's usually not one moment. It's a slow fade. It's compromise disguised as comfort. It's missing the still, small voice because you were too distracted. It's putting off surrender until there's nothing left to surrender. That's how names get erased from blessing. That's how people walk through life, unaware that the covering lifted long ago. A neuroscientist says yes, a 9-word script, long buried in government files, can fire up a prehistoric brainwave that pulls money in faster. This breakthrough is already under legal pressure and could disappear any second. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. But God loves you too much to let that happen silently. That's why He's interrupting your routine. That's why your heart feels like it's shaking. That's why the tears are close. This isn't just a message, it's a divine encounter. And the decision you make right now will echo in your future. You're not just choosing what happens today, you're choosing what happens next year. You're choosing who fights for you. You're choosing whether you walk into what was promised or wander in what was never meant for you. This is weighty, but it's also beautiful, because grace is still available, because your name hasn't been erased yet, because your future is still redeemable. The same God who formed the stars is speaking your name with tenderness. He's not just looking at what you've done, He's looking at who you still are. His, chosen, loved, worth dying for, and yes, worth forgiving again, worth restoring again, worth reaching for one more time. He hasn't given up on you, even when you gave up on yourself. So give Him your yes, not a maybe, not a someday, a real, surrendered, honest yes. That's where things shift. That's where miracles begin. That's where the fire returns. And once you're under His hand again, things that were impossible will start moving. Doors will open, chains will fall, peace will reign. Because where God is, blessing follows. And when God's hand is on your life, hell can't touch you. But that promise is waiting for your response. This is your open door. This is your second wind. This is the moment God writes, restored over your name instead of removed. He wants to keep your name written in the blessing. He wants to keep His hand steady over you. but he needs your surrender. You don't need more advice. You need his presence. You don't need more strength. You need surrender. You don't need to hold yourself up anymore. You need to let God carry you. The truth is, you've been close to collapse, and nobody even knew. You've smiled, worked, laughed, but inside you've been fading. That's not weakness. That's what it looks like when you live disconnected from the one who created your soul. He's not judging your pain. He's reaching through it. Comment 7777 if you know God is speaking to the hidden places in your heart right now. You've tried everything. You've distracted yourself. You've filled your time with people, work, entertainment, even good things, but the ache never left. Because it was never about what you were doing. It's always been about who you were missing. And what you've been missing isn't a feeling. It's not a mood. It's not even healing. It's Him. Your spirit was made for God, and without Him, everything else feels like noise. This is why He's saying you're about to lose His hand, because you've already started living without His voice. You've started making choices without prayer. You've started accepting things you once prayed against. You've stopped feeling the conviction that used to pull you back. And if you keep ignoring His hand, it won't just be a feeling you lose. It'll be the covering, the guidance, the divine favor. God won't force you to walk with Him, but He also won't bless what He didn't lead. You've been asking Him to bless plans He didn't write, to protect you on paths He didn't call you to. And He's been merciful. He's covered you even when you ran ahead. But His patience is not permission. And now, He's drawing a line. Not because He wants to punish you, but because He wants to protect you from the deeper pain that's coming if you don't turn back. God corrects those He loves, and this is correction. Holy, firm, merciful correction. It's not too late, but it soon could be. Comment 9999 if you hear Him calling you back and you're saying, I won't ignore you anymore. You know the difference between living with God's presence and living without it. You remember what it felt like to wake up with peace, to feel covered, to know you were in step with heaven. But lately it's been confusion, heavy, dry, distant. That's not life. That's survival. And you weren't created to survive. You were created to thrive in His presence, to walk with boldness, to live with joy, to speak with power, but that only happens under His hand. Right now, the enemy wants you to ignore this moment. He wants you to think this is just another emotional message, but deep down, you know this is different. This is personal. This is God Himself speaking through the noise, not to shame you, but to rescue you, to pull you back before you go too far, to cover you again before the enemy gets access you didn't mean to give. You may think you've hidden it well, but God knows what doors you've opened. He knows the habits that are draining your spirit. He knows the people you've allowed too close, the compromise, the pride, the fear, the secret sins. He knows, and yet He's still here, still offering grace, still offering to wipe the slate clean. But you must respond before the silence comes. When God lifts His hand, the enemy doesn't hesitate. When God removes the blessing, you feel it everywhere. In your mind, in your relationships, in your decisions, everything starts to misalign. You question who you are. You start tolerating things that once grieved you. That's not freedom, that's spiritual decay. That's life without God. But this moment is proof you don't have to keep living like that. You are still called. You are still chosen. The blessing still has your name on it. But heaven is watching your response now. Will you keep pushing Him aside, hoping for more time? Or will you finally say, I've gone far enough without you, Lord. I want your hand on me again. I want your spirit leading me again. It's not about your history, it's about your heart. Could your brain be the reason you're still broke? Scientists just confirmed a 9-word sentence hidden deep in your subconscious may be blocking money from your life. But now, you can reverse it. Say these 9 words and wealth starts to follow you, starting today. But the government might pull this secret any minute. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted forever. Don't let your past disqualify you from your future. Don't let guilt keep you out of grace. Don't let shame lie to you another minute. If God was done with you, He wouldn't be speaking now. But He is. And His voice still has power. Power to heal, power to restore, power to set you free. But only if you say yes. God's hand is not just comfort, it's protection, it's direction, it's purpose. It's what separates you from destruction. And you are on the edge of losing it, not because He's angry, but because He's just. He cannot bless what continually rejects Him. He cannot guide someone who won't listen. He cannot cover someone who keeps stepping away. But He can still bring you back if you stop running. You've been chasing peace in all the wrong places. But peace isn't a thing. Peace is a person. Jesus is peace. And He's standing at the door of your heart again, knocking, waiting, not forcing, waiting. What you do with this moment is your choice. But heaven will not wait forever.